Hello, 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 hello. Let me get myself all sat up properly. I am a sloucher, I can't help it. I need a better chair. Although, to be fair, hey, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Let's get... There we go. Oh, look, we're in a new room. Ignore the telly. Ideally, I probably shouldn't have put that there because I can't actually plug it in. But we're finally in the new studio, if you like. So the camera isn't up there anymore; it's over there. Do you know what? I always look at this screen, so I might put the camera there at some point if it stretches. It's literally only been set up for about... I stopped doing it about an hour ago. I had some dinner and I'm straight on here for Sunday's live stream, which has changed about 3 times, but anyway, it is what it is. Am I on the microphone? Yes, I am. Perfect. Good stuff. That's a good start. So perfect, guys. We are in the new studio. There might be an echo, so I do apologise. It's probably not going to be the best place to record any voiceovers until I can start doing stuff with it. There'll be stuff here. There'll be aviation prints there on the wall. This might stay, it might go. I don't think it'll stay because I think the window looks nice as it is, but it's a lovely space. Like, it's a much nicer space. It's like an office now, so it's like a it looks more like a place where I should live stream and do this kind of thing from. So that's pretty good. Still, as I say, more things to be done. I did see a lovely desk that potentially would replace this one, and then this one would go alongside it, but the room's not big enough, so that's not going to happen. But yeah, it'll start to develop as we go along. So as we go through these live streams, you might see things get better, and camera might move. I don't know really, because the camera would then be facing the doorway and there's like a cupboard next to it. I don't know. I don't know. We also don't have our second camera today, so it's a bit of a shame. So we still have our sort of overlay screen, which isn't that one. That isn't Total Aviation screenshot, by the way, guys, just so you know. That's actually Alexander Lewis's screenshot. We've already done that before. But yeah, we don't have our second camera, unfortunately, today, which, to be honest, is not a massive loss. It wasn't showing too much anyway. That is right here. It's a beast of a unit. It's do you know what? It's quite a heavy webcam. It's a little tank. Looks like the front of Thomas the Tank or something like that. I don't know, but it's cool. This one's the eMeet S800, and then we're using the eMeet Pixie for the actual webcam, both for 4K. I'll set this up at another live stream, but yeah, they're linked in the description if you're interested. They're the ones that I use. But yeah, nothing. There's still things laying on the floor from when I set everything up. So yeah, that's how it all lies. Anyway, we are live. We're going to be taking a look. This is an idea. So the live stream changed a couple of times. The idea of this live stream today was to actually come and watch me set this room up, but logistically it probably wouldn't have worked out very well. So after looking at some things and having a look at sort of the amount of airports that I've taken a look at, either through doing a official trailer or either through doing a live stream for it, or just maybe looking at it, and I've never actually featured it on the channel before, which is the case for the first couple of airports. So these aren't ones that I've featured on the channel, but I may have talked about them before. Salt, nice to see you, mate. Good to see you in the the chat. As I say, everyone who's in the chat today, thank you so much, and thank you for watching. Just a little disclaimer before we start: this isn't any means an official list or the best airports, you know, that we all think are the best airports. These are my favourite ones. These are my, what I would consider so far on 2024, the best that I've looked at. But certainly, we've got a long way to go. There's still loads and loads of airports that we're going to see in the coming years. So, yeah, these are my favourite. And I think there's about 10 or 11. Whether we get through 10 or 11 in the list, we'll see. Everything is linked in the description, guys. I will try and link some of the pages, the product pages, in the chat as we go. But yeah, everything is linked down below. There's also a couple of new aircraft that I've taken a look at recently as well, which you can see one of them on screen now is actually the Flight Studios E-Jets, the 190 and the 195. And then I've also got another one which I'll show you in the next airport as well. So they might feature on a couple of, or sorry, they will feature in a couple of upcoming videos or YouTube shorts. What else is happening? Well, actually, we will have, or I will have, an unboxing coming soon. Finally. So I've decided, unfortunately, the way I was going to do my Wing products, the reviews and the videos that I've planned had to completely change. Scripts been rewritten, and the ideas have had to completely change, unfortunately. Just the way things go. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together some unboxings initially, and then I'm going to do like a hands-on review. So I'm looking forward to sharing them with you. But yeah, let's get on with it, guys. Let me just take a sip of drink. My Stranger Things glass there. Lovely. So let's have a little look. So we're starting off with an airport that, since I've put it on social media about today's stream, I've had a couple of questions what this airport was. And I think for the most part, because FlyTampa didn't really, I don't think they did anything in the UK. Or anyway, for Microsoft Flight Simulator anyway. They didn't do much or didn't do anything in the UK apart from this. And it is one of the most detailed airports. It's a FlyTampa scenery. It's what you expect from those guys. The quality is fantastic. The airside modelling, the landside modelling, it's all there. It's all very well done. We'll take a little walk around. I don't think this is a native 2024 package. I could be wrong. Another disclaimer is that everything I show you today is generally available for 2020 as well, with some exceptions. But everything is linked in the description below, guys. So make sure if you are interested that you head in the description. This is designed for 2020 and 2024 by FlyTampa. It's £10.60. £10 or 11 quid, guys, from Contrail. So it's linked in the description below. And guys, I've had this. I bought this Humberside scenery out of my own pocket. I will say that. This wasn't given to me by FlyTampa. Once I've seen it, now I don't have sort of any. I've never been here. I don't really have any connections in terms of going here, plane spotting, or flying here as a passenger. But I saw the screenshots and I was blown away by the amount of detail. Now, let me just have a check. No, there's no collision, but you'll actually see there's no collision on the floor either. And I apologize for my guy wearing all the military gear. There is a reason for that, and you'll find out soon. But this is fantastic. So we won't do too much walking in this video, regardless of the size of the airport. I want to just jump into drone mode, but it is really really detailed. Now, you'll see some things are their own scenery, like the ground service equipment and vehicles are their own. Everything else that's kind of moving and being animated, it will be part of Microsoft Flight Simulator, the ground service equipment and stuff like that. But it is super detailed. Did I say that? Over there, you can actually see the Bristow helicopter hangar and the firefighting area as well. Got a bit of wind today, but guys, this is really good. For this one, and everyone that you check out, regardless if you do any flying in these areas, I would definitely recommend these airports, because everyone you're going to see today is really well made. Each airport I'm going to show is from a different developer. I don't think I've got anything that is... Oh, actually, tell a lie, I have got some double ups in developers, but for good reason. So what I want to do is I just want to jump out within the EJet 190. This is what it looks like in the cockpit. Now, this particular aircraft is, I think, still sort of being developed, I believe. I don't even think it's out of early access yet. I could be wrong. But this is my first opportunity to look at it, and it is very well made. The external model and the cockpit modeling is really good. The sounds are also very good as well. I have made a landing video which I'll upload later today to release in the middle of the week. But yeah, really nice aircraft. This really nicely modelled, as you can see. We won't spend too much time looking at the E-Jet, but this is a livery, the Eastern Airways livery that is part of the aircraft. Mainly use this because obviously Eastern use Humberside and use this particular aircraft. I think most of the time, though, it's actually quite a blank white livery. So, yeah, you baking me crazy. Afternoon, chaps. Afternoon. I love that name still, by the way. You baking me crazy. I love it. Absolutely love it. And the fact that I think your little thing... Is the thing a bacon in someone's hand, or is it a hot dog? It looks like, from kind of looking at it, looks like someone holding a hot dog in the fist, but... I'm curious now. I'm gonna have to look. Yeah, it's three rashers of bacon. I love it. I love that. I love it. Bravo on that name. I love that. Very creative. But yeah, Humberside is it's great. It's fantastic. So I would say some of the modeling and texturing, it's not what we're kind of seeing nowadays. I mean, obviously we've got a cup stuck in the wall there, but keep in mind this was, I think, their last big release or their last proper release. But these guys also do plugs and plugging things into plugs, which you don't see much of. I also don't know who that is. I don't know if it's someone to do with aviation. I just completely don't know that I'm going to look like a fool. It might be someone to do with FlyTampa, but that's an actual photo there. But for the most part, it's a complete package. Everything is there. The clutter, the use of parallax in there again, we see that a lot. But since this has come out, we've had the likes of, Birmingham by Pyreegue and RWProfiles, Newcastle and stuff like that. But they've got everything spot on. There's also a bus that's animated that goes around the airport, which is over there. You can see it. Just coming in now, the Skylink bus, fully animated. And again, you usually see this type of thing in Pyreegues or Aerosoft, their sceneries, and it's pretty well done. Multiple rashers of bacon because one is not enough. You're right. Also, that bus is just pretty much glitched through the sign, but the sheer fact that there's an animated bus is pretty cool, and then it's just clipped all of, yeah. It's like it's turning on an ice rink, but listen, do you know what? It is what it is. I'm not really gonna moan about that. All custom cars, custom car models, so real world makes. We've even got a police patrol car. It's a very English scenery. You can see the road markings, your typical British roundabout, and it's so good. Like, if we go out on the perimeter road here, right underneath the approach, you can see all the individual British signposts. We've even got some, in fact, the runway backs right onto the road pretty much. So, as you can imagine, there is some warning lights. Don't know if these come on when you are landing. Possibly, I'm not too sure. We can actually, we could actually, let me bear with me. We could test it. It'd be pretty cool if they did. I've never checked this before, but we can have a check. Just by, hopefully. That is because I have started the replay, and it's because it's connected to the plane, so it's kind of snapped to the plane. Bloody hell, take this license. Oh, wait, what? What? Oh, take his license away. Sorry. I'm terrible when it comes to live streaming and people's comments. I don't read them properly, and then I'm like confused. But there he is going down the sort of the perimeter road here. Let's see how he takes the roundabout. The bus driver, yeah, no, I get it, mate. No, it's me. Sorry, I'm having a moment, a senior moment. There he is. Where's he going? Where's he? Typical bus driver. This. Honest to God, I think he's drunk. No, so what I've done is because technically the drone camera is, when you first activate it, it's snapped to the aircraft, wherever you're using. Before we check that out, let's just check all the different detail, which is incredible, apart from the 2D barbed wire. Signs are very crisp. Again, this particular airport, I haven't gone around in detail. So this one, as well as a couple of others, are going to be some of my first reactions. And check out the water sort of ground effects here. So this isn't part of the weather. It's actually a part of the scenery. Seeing that more and more recently. Again, Humberside isn't a brand new. Oh, I think have we had a landing gear clip the the outer fence? Probably me with this Embraer. Nah, to be fair, this landing is quite a nice landing. And give myself a bit of credit there. Shocking. It is. It's shocking driving. But yeah, the sort of the outer road goes all the way down. Look at that. You can see a traditional English road sign here. Fantastic. I love to see it. And it goes all the way down up into this junction. Where again, we've got the authentic signpost. We've got a plane spotter maybe there. It's really, really nice. Again, I actually haven't been this far. You can also see the added the factory in as well. Again, I haven't been close up to that. Let me just double check, guys, what that is, because off the top of my head, I would not be able to tell you what that is. but it is added in. I don't think it's part of the because it's got this smokestack here. It looks pretty good, the actual smoke effects. I don't think it's part of. It doesn't actually say in the product description, and it doesn't seem to be part of the product pictures either. I don't know if this is actually part of the UK update or it could be part of Orbx scenery as well, but this smoke is actually pretty good. If anyone knows, let me know. I don't think it is. You're selling me on this scenery, didn't even know it existed. Exactly, mate. This is why I wanted to do this one, because I don't think many people, even though it's FlyTampa, and they are very, very good scenery makers, it's a pretty weird one for them to do, considering most of their stuff is US. I think FlyTampa did Amsterdam as well, did they? Or was that Aerosoft? Maybe a couple of people did it. But no, it's very, very good. And I think it's their last proper release. There's the Coast Guard hangar, which, by the way, has another patrol car by it. And the patrol car at night, and the hangar look fantastic. Lighting's done very well. Really, really cool. Let's have a little look and I'll show you what the actual airport looks like. Again, spot on. The night lighting's great. We will obviously go back over. We'll check out we'll see if these lights work. Yeah, there was someone who did Amsterdam, and I remember the previews for Amsterdam from a particular developer. Maybe it was Aerosoft, but someone did a really, really good Amsterdam, or at least in the previews, the buildings look spot on. Let's have a little look and see. Got Sky Dolly open here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This is not a particular good landing. What was I on about? This is clearly the wrong one. That was me practice landing. But the night lighting on the E-Jets is very, very good. Very impressed with the lights on the E-Jet. Don't think these are going to activate, if I'm going to be totally honest. They don't, but you can check out me nice landing anyway. Wasn't bad. Wasn't butter, but it wasn't bad. Brought it down. Unfortunately, the reverse thrusters only work on certain aircraft on with Sky Dolly. I've only ever come across a couple. I'm not too sure what they were as well. Let's just block the taxiway here, guys. As we carry on looking around, of course, because I was just curious to see if those lights worked. But yeah, this is a very, very good one. Had some bangers in terms of scenes. Yeah, so Brussels still kind of, for me, is even in 2024, is still a really, really fantastic put together scenery. The performance is fantastic as well. I was there recently doing a video for something, and used the military ramp, the military stand, the apron rather, for the particular aircraft video. And yeah, the animation, the animated carts. Oslo, I need to have a look at Oslo. But yeah, I took a look at their Berlin one recently. I thought Berlin wasn't as good as Brussels, but I think Berlin was newer. Am I wrong in saying that? I was under the impression that the Berlin Aerosoft one was newer than Brussels, but I wasn't overly impressed with it compared to Brussels. It was a bit weird. But check out the detail with this FlyTampa Humberside, though. The gates, you know, the metal mesh, the Humberside sign with everything gone. The bus driver that can't drive. Wait there, mate. Wait. There we go. Over. Animated people who actually move about. Monuments. Placards with everything on there. What we'll do is we'll actually take it around, because there's a full interior. Very, very well made interior as well. Because there's a lot over the other side, so there's more hangars. There's, you know, the general aviation hangars and stuff like that. This guy is proper massive as well. You can see this lady is proper annoyed with this machine. She can put a hand through metal apparently, but yeah, I can see she's getting really, really frustrated. Let's move on. She's mastered the art of floating. But yeah, you know, it's super immersive. If you're a simmer who doesn't check out any interiors, then you're never going to see these guys. And this is very authentic. I used to have to move these in and out of WH Smith every morning and night after opening and closing, and that is super realistic. Very, very well made. The research and modeling is spot on. And then the interior is fantastic. Really, really old sort of English airports feel to it. This kind of reminds me of like Liverpool John Lennon before it had its new terminal way back when. It's mad. With Phoenix update allows you to move around the I know, yeah. Nice. I know I did I walked up the jet stairs, the stairs up into the actual cabin, and walked up the back exit, and yeah, it's proper good. I love that. I love the new Phoenix update. I haven't tested it on Sim Update 3 yet either. I know the iniBuilds A350 as very, very glitchy in the new Sim Update 3. I've just figured that one out, or just seen that, not figured it out, but seen it. Look how detailed this is. Yeah, but the A350, iniBuilds A350, everything starts flickering. Like, not flickering little, it's like full-on light show, like party lights in the cockpit. All the screens and lights just flicker for about 20 seconds, and then it goes okay, but it's still something that they obviously need to take a look at. But yeah, this terminal is beautiful. I absolutely love it. So good. Everything's stocked up there. That one's closed. Static helicopters. The check-in area, the Eastern Airways check-in area, all done. Even the offices up here, Swissport offices. Someone's got their own little Costa coffee and everything. It's fantastic. It really is. I think Humberside is one of those airports that easily got missed. It easily got missed because, you know, it's not a busy airport. And I spoke to a couple of developers, and obviously they always say, listen, you know, we do want, you know, we'd love to make airports that are kind of nearest and dearest to us, which, you know, most developers try and do for kind of the first project or at least once. But essentially they want simmers to use it and want to buy it, so they do have to pick airports with, you know, busy routes and, you know, routes that are being flown, you know, in real life and in the simulator. So for them, it's not really worth going down the route of doing smaller airports if they can help it. FlyTampa doing Humberside, I'm not too sure what the deal was there. If I'm totally honest, it's a bit odd, but it's a very, very good airport. This will take us sort of back out. So I'll have to kind of glitch a tiny bit, guys, just to see where the sort of the departure section is. Which is through here. Again, all animated people, some sat, some walking around. And it is spot on. Look at that. What have we got here? Some croissants there on the desk. A350 glitchy never. Yeah, you know, fair enough. I get it. I get it. But for me, I mean, it never used to do that. There we go. Is that Crew Alexander against Grimsby? Apparently Grimsby absolutely thrashed them there, but last time I seen that was Newcastle Airport, where they put the Newcastle game on the telly. A little bit of a section here as well. Another little gate, KLM gate. But yeah, Humberside's pretty. You know, it's very detailed. It's not just detailed in sort of in the interior part. It's really, really detailed elsewhere. So, like I said, if you go further out, again, all authentic real-life car models. You've got a Hampton by Hilton hotel there. Again, need to double check on this, but I'm not too sure if this was part of the scenery. These smokestacks don't look like what you would get in Orbx, but I could be wrong completely. I was supposed to be checking out what that is. It is the... Doesn't look like... Oh, no, it is still there. It's Singleton Birch. It's like a chemical type factory. But that could very well be an Orbx scenery. I'm not too sure, guys. It doesn't say if it's included in the contrail product page. I also hear, is it a plane? It could very well be just flight traffic kicking in somewhere. But it's pretty good. Very, very, very good. So obviously, keeping in mind, guys, we've technically I have listed 10 in the description, so I'm probably gonna have to start picking up the pace when it comes to checking out these airports. But I think in particular Humberside and kind of the next couple of airports, the ones I haven't shown on the channel in any kind of capacity. Look at that. We've even got, is that Thunderbird 2 or 1? Which again is there at Humberside. Whether it's still there, I'm not too sure. You can see these ladies here having a bit of a picnic and a bit of a chat. But even down to all these hangars and sort of you know, office buildings, they're all done and the quality is fantastic. It's inside the hangar, for example, all the boxes on the shelves, something you don't really see a lot of in these sceneries. Boxes and cables and everything on the shelf. You usually see tools and stuff like that, but yeah, I do love a good open hangar. I think saying this in one of the live streams, someone said it in the chat, and I think I totally agree with it. But instead of developers going very, very insane with terminal interiors, which, you know, I love to see. Let's see some really good open hangars with animated doors in and stuff, you know, because I think people would like open hangars, accessible hangars for their aircraft. It's so good. It really is. They've done FlyTampa have done a fantastic job with this. The texture and modeling is very authentic. It's very immersive. It just, they've made everything look real. The amount of dirt and weathering and the look of each hangar. You got the Eastern Airways hangar there as well. Really cool. The fire engines, the, you know, the gritters, the salters, the tractors. You even got a little, I think that's a jet stream, an Eastern Airways jet stream there. All the signs have, you know, got like, you know, the beacon lights on them, and fantastic, really is. Some of the grass aprons and the grass texture, grass edge lighting, all done as well. Really fantastic. And we've also got an old thing, and probably a Hawk T1, but we've got it over here by the BAE Systems hangar. X278, if anyone wants to go and check that out. But yeah, Humberside is a big thumbs up. And actually, we also have a Hawk, and is that a Strike Master? So you got the Hawk in the traditional kind of black livery that you would see them from RAF Valley. I think that is a Strike Master. The models are fantastic, really cool. But yeah, this is Humberside by FlyTampa. We have to move on to the next one, guys, because we have spent far too long here. But yeah, fully recommend this one. Go and get it. Go and do some KLM routes over to Amsterdam, little short hops, because obviously we are on the east coast of the UK, thereabouts. So not too far to do little Embraer 190, 195 hops over to there. But yeah, fully recommend Humberside by FlyTampa. Next one is one that I was going to feature on the channel in a live stream about a week ago. But again, the last couple of Sunday live streams have changed quite a fair bit. Picking this one up, thanks for the showcase. No worries, I've still got more to go. try and start getting them a bit more. Well, the first couple might be a bit shorter. Actually, the first two, because from there, I think the list we've already seen on the channel. But again, this is purely to show my favourites so far. Some of them, not all of them. There's loads of others that are favourites in 2024 so far. Next one's Bournemouth. Now, again, probably easily missed if you weren't looking out for it. But this is one from Gary at UK 2000 Scenery. This one, a bit older. I think we're going into the middle of 2024 for this, because he has since done Norwich, which I do want to take a look at some point on the channel. But this, again, fantastic. Don't know if Eastern come here. I know we do have Ryanair and Jet2 using Bournemouth. We'll stick our Embraer just here. We'll have a little look around. So we'll probably take a bit more of a look in here, and then we'll use the last hour of the stream to, not a quick fire, but yeah, we'll go through some of my other favourites, which again, you might have seen on the channel, but yeah, there's quite a few on there. In fact, let me have a look while we load into Bournemouth. Again, Bournemouth is listed below. You can get this from Sim Market, along with pretty much all of UK 2000's sceneries. What I'll do is just pop the link for Humberside in there, and then we have got Bournemouth by UK 2000, which is also linked in the chat. Again, everything we're going to see on the chat, possibly more depending on if we are able to get through all of these, will be linked below. If you're curious, if we don't get to see all of the sceneries listed below, there's a couple there you can go off and take a look at if you'd like. But again, loaded into this one, this was sent to me by SimMarket, just so you guys know. So I think from now, everything in the list now is pretty much been sent to me for to be previewed or to be featured on the channel. Humberside I did pay for. But yeah, I was very, very impressed with this. Now, Gary has been doing sceneries for a very long time. Very renowned developer, known by the community. And he does make some really, really densely modeled sceneries. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of surrounding buildings done. Basically, he tries to do as much of the airport as possible. There is interiors to Bournemouth, as you can see, full car park with use of the included vehicles, the cars that are in the simulator already for developers to use. The ones in 2024 are miles better than 2020, in my opinion. Still not amazing, but they're good. And then Gary does use people models. I don't think there's animated people models, but we can have a little look in. Bit of a glitch there. Don't know what. So that isn't an actual interior. I think the airside might be. And look at this. Look at how densely. So it seems when you try and go into. Yeah, so I don't think what he's done is he's just used it as kind of a. Has that guy got pants on? Ew, I don't think this guy has got pants, or he's picked the worst color pants. What? Hang on, he's gone for the half pants situation. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Probably off to like Amsterdam or something with his mates. But yeah, the use of passenger models here is really good, because obviously this is where you're going to be parking your aircraft right up. So Gary has opted not for an interior that you can explore, but rather an interior that you're going to be able to see from your aircraft, which is fantastic. It's good. It means that you can partially model interior and not do the full thing, but it's also kind of a welcome thing, maybe, I guess, for people who are not too bothered with interiors, who just want to park the aircraft at the gate, here, and have a look out the cockpit and see, look, there's our passengers there. There's our terminal. I can see inside, but I don't need to go in there, Half butt cheek out. Yeah, I mean, he's fair play to him. He's got the fashion down. But I love the walkways. I love how good the performance is, and yet this walkway is absolutely rammed full. Look at that, smooth. Camera's no stutters, no slowdowns. Rivals all here. It's fantastic. It really is. And it's a very, very, in terms of square footage, it's a big airport. A lot of hangars. And obviously, he has included the Euro cargo A340s as well. Of course, European cargo A340s, which are a regular flight, regular movement at Bournemouth. So they had to be included. But yeah, ground clutter, vehicles. He has modelled the tower, which is good to see. And as I say, I've had to look around Bournemouth, not extensively, but I noticed that obviously there's literally, I mean, as a kid, if I was in a school right next to the airport and there was A340s coming in every day, I'd be made up. But yeah, this actually seems like Parkfield School. Again, modelled to look like it. Perimeter fencing, the road textures are done as well. Have we got some? Can hear something. Not too sure what it was. It potentially could be. Too sure what that is. Don't think the traffic has. It does have sounds. But also as well, there's a museum here as well. And again, he's fully mapped this with all the models. Again, I'd like to see if these were actually authentic models that's being used. Bournemouth Airport, rather. Let's just see. Let's see if we can get a view of the Bournemouth Aviation Museum. Let's have a little look and see how much we can see from the roadside. We could just click on it, couldn't we? So, by the looks of it, Gary's got this pretty spot on. There's a front of a Avro Vulcan, a Sea King. Don't know if it's a Sea King actually there, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Again, I don't think you would see much of it. Possibly if you looked out of your right window coming in on approach. A340 here, like I said, all these have got the authentic liveries on them. Apron textures, runway texturing, all, yeah, I mean, they're good. They're really nice. But you can see just how large the airport space is. There's a lot of hangars, especially over here. The Gamma Aviation hangar is really, really nice. I took a screenshot at kind of nighttime on this. I didn't actually show any of the night lighting in Humberside. I forgot to do that. I do apologize, people. But yeah, there's a lot of custom buildings. I would say in terms of ground texturing, you know, there's not been any additional texturing done. So obviously some developers like to just retexture the whole ground and, you know, put their own grass, put their own markings in, put their own road networks in. In this case, Gary hasn't, and to be honest with you, that's absolutely fine. The satellite imagery is okay. I think, again, Gary is going for the simmer who likes to stay in the aircraft, maybe do a walk around. But again, if you were to park up here, you would be looking at the buildings rather than the floor. Which is, listen, that's fine. That's fine by me, as long as obviously the performance is good, which it is. And again, I would say this one is about a year, just over a year old. This one, I think. I do need to take a look at Gary's Norwich, because that looks pretty good. A row of A340s sitting there, pretty cool. Again, if you are watching the stream today and you are enjoying it, if you're re-watching the stream, you are enjoying the selection of airports. So far, we're only on our second one. Please leave a like, comment with your favorite airports so far. Tell me why you like them. Come into social media, let me know there. come into my Discord, which again is all linked in the description, and let me know your favorite airports, guys. I'd like to know where everyone is flying, what's your favorite airport, and I'd like to discover new ones because I still am. Remember, I was away from YouTube for about a year and a half, and I did miss quite a bit. And one of the airports that I miss is going to be featured in this live stream because it was a big one, and I was so gutted that I missed it. The Gamma Aviation hangar is so cool. Let me show you this at night because it looks fantastic now. But the night lighting in this one is so good. Even again, if you are watching the stream and you're not really getting involved in the chat, that's absolutely fine. But please do make sure you leave a like. The Gamma Aviation hangar is fantastic, and again, it's packed full of your business jets. The airport lighting as a whole is fantastic, very well done. And this is kind of more of your smaller biz jets and your general aviation. There's also the Draken hangar as well. Again, this is I can't remember what these were. These I see on Flight Radar quite often, but again, they're completely modelled as well. What airport is this? This is Bournemouth by UK 2000. And it again, I've linked it. It's linked up above the second link that I posted in the chat, but it's also everything that I'm showing in this live stream is linked in the description. But yeah, it's Bournemouth. Spent 25 years working at Bournemouth Airport. Excellent scenery by the looks of it. Perfect, good stuff. See, I do like it, obviously, when I hear from people who have either worked or have had extensive time at airports, and obviously so do the developers as well. But it's nice to hear that obviously the developers have got it, got it right, and it looks authentic. Vulcan 20s, yeah, very old ones. I did the sort of the teaser trailer for the Contrail Vulcan 50, didn't I? So, and the modeling for the static aircraft is pretty good. All authentically registered up as well. Bit close to the fence, I guess, but yeah. So if you've just dove into the live stream, welcome. Good to see you this evening. So again, live stream's kind of taken a bit of a different turn a few times, and things changed, and next Sunday's live stream is already penciled in. I just need to get that scheduled for tonight. If anyone's interested, I'll be taking a look at Toowoomba Wellcamp Airport in Australia. That is the brand new scenery coming out at the start of September by Ausscene or AUScene. I think I need to ask them how they prefer their name. But yeah, that is the brand new upcoming scenery by Ausscene. Toowoomba Airport, Toowoomba Wellcamp. I'll be taking a look at that on Sunday, next Sunday, and probably do a couple of circuits in a plane of some kind. But yeah, really excited to look at that, and I'm more than likely going to be featuring that in other ways on the channel as well, probably through a couple of YouTube shorts, having a look at the airport in greater detail. But yeah, that'll be featured on the channel a few times, the upcoming scene by those guys. Upcoming scenery, rather. But yeah, this is Bournemouth. It's the UK 2000 scenery. I've linked it in the description. It's available on Sim Market. Again, I think this is about a year old. It's not a new scenery, but again, I would say probably easily missed, just like Humberside was. But yeah, I hope everyone's liking the new space. The telly, I might keep there. It's on a windowsill at the minute, as you can see. But maybe we could get something on that telly. I don't know whether it'd be distracting, but I think I might take it down. But my next thing is to get stuff of the here of some kind. I'm not too sure. I might have to get a desk and some shelves because I want to display things there. Like I've got these. Look, this is from I believe this was from a Hercules. Is this from a Hercules? I think it is. That's like an authentic airspeed indicator from a C-130. So I've got them. I've got a few. I've got some fuel gauges. Well, they're all fuel gauges apart from that one. But yeah, that'll look nicer at some point. Right, where should we go next? I know where we should go next. The next one on the list. Taking a bit of a drink before we carry on, guys. Again, this is just a basic setup so far because we're in the new room now. Feels good to be in here. Really, really enjoying it. It feels like my own space, my kind of own little studio, if you like. The camera probably might move. I haven't got my second camera set up. I also realize I'm still on this screen, so I do apologize, guys. But yeah, it's not fully set up. I only finished setting it up an hour before I went live, so yeah. Apologies for it. Apologies for the crudeness. It will start to take shape and get better to a point of where I'll be happy to kind of show you the room in a live stream and take you through my setup and stuff like that, you know. Right, we are going to head to a airport that I didn't feature too long ago. This is from a fantastic developer who has sadly passed away recently. If you have been keeping up with the channel, you know that Milo instantly became a friend and instantly sort of showed me just how of a delightful man he is. And sadly, yeah, he passed away at the start of August, and ever since then, I've been trying to make sure that his legacy continues. What I want to do, this is, I know he would say his McCall Municipal was his favorite. I totally get that because it's fantastic. But for me, Sulphur Creek is my favorite. It's my favorite of his, and I'll show you why that is. So what we'll do is we'll jump. We won't jump in the Embraer because that wouldn't make sense. We'll go in the Chinook. This is the Chinook SJ by CRZ Studios. Featured it quite a few times over the last couple of weeks on the channel. Still a brand new little aircraft. Their debut aircraft, native 2024 aircraft. Very, very cool. Yeah, rest in peace. Totally, absolutely amazing. If you didn't see my live stream, I live streamed his Lookout Orbx, or he was indie developer for Orbx, and he did the Lookout Towers and all of the Idaho based sceneries, including this one, which is it's so, if you're doing any kind of bush flying or just general aviation flying at all, this is one for you. Yeah, GSX, okay, perfect. I also need to take this wind down because this wind's a bit too much at the minute. Like, let me put it on the actual. There we go. This is just so immersive, a beautifully done scenery. Again, it's not a massive scenery, but Milo was very, very. He had a keen eye for detail, and it shows in this scenery. Again, his McCall scenery, absolutely fantastic. But for me, because I just like this scenery, it's fantastic. The fallen logs, the rocks, the barns, everything, every bit of space, the animated birds, the animated, all of the animated things he's put in. It is just so immersive, and I really need to get the Quest 3 on and have a little walk around and fly in VR, because it's fantastic. Again, apologies for my guy in full military gear. It's just so good. It really, really is. This is Sulphur Creek, again, linked in the description. You can get this from Orbx, and I'd recommend, guys, if you're interested in any kind of GA flying, bush flying, do you know what? Everything in the list I would just recommend anyway, and start discovering new places to fly. This one, you will not be disappointed. This one has just got so much little detail. Some of the people are animated, some aren't, but you'll see like the steam off their plates of food, and the food looks great. She's got a full English here. Looks fantastic. That would make me hungry if I hadn't already had my dinner. But the steam off it, she doesn't look too interested in the food, but it's just so well done. It is very, very nice. It's just a complete package. And look at that. We've even got the barbecue sizzling away here with the steam coming off. Got all your meats there as well, of course. Your condiments and sauces. Again, she looks more like she's in a meeting, giving a presentation rather than making a barbecue, but it's steaming. It is. So what I want to do is... Okay, all right. I mean, if I request ground services here, you're going to put a massive big fuel truck and tanker in the middle of Sulphur Creek, and that's just going to look weird. But yeah, Milo, just the attention to detail, the eye for the detail was just second to none. It was just and it's so well done, the modeling and the texturing of it, the foliage, the logs, the branches, the leaves, it's all there. And I know quite a lot of guys who like to do bush flying around this area with, groups of the community, and it is, look at this. Even the bird is animated. I think that's an SENJ or SDNJ, I think it was. It was definitely a J. All the log cabins again, dynamic, smoke coming out of them as well. The sort of the horse field, I guess it's all enclosed. And if that wasn't enough, you can take a little walk through the forest. Again, because of walking mode, you can walk all the way through here. And there's a guy up here who's brought his mates for a little fishing trip. And it's, again, look at this. He's over there out in the water having a bit of a fish. This guy's looking at where they should hike next. We've got a lovely fire again with the steam. Tent, it's so immersive. And then we've got a lovely doggo here. Don't know about the wake effects here, but again, pretty cool. I hope he's caught some. We've got some animated duckies as well, look at that. And some animated fish jumping out of the water. And I think I got that mixed up with a bear last time I looked. It's actually some rocks. But yeah, if you're interested in this one, it's Sulphur Creek. It's the fantastic Mark Milo Taylor, available from Orbx, linked in the description. Fantastic, this one. Where are we heading next, guys? I think we have a fair few in the UK. Not being biased, but most of them are linked in the UK. We're heading back to the UK, then we're heading over to Australia, then we're heading back to the UK, and then we're heading off to Brazil. So there you go. Got quite a few flights going on, haven't we? So let's head back to the UK. And we'll take a look at the first of 2 Pyreegue Devco sceneries. First one was the one that I missed out on, that released while I was taking a break from everything aviation related, unfortunately, and including YouTube. East Midlands, fantastic. This was the scenery that Pyreegue released just about a year or so prior to Birmingham. Well, actually, it was a little bit longer than that. I think I was talking with someone about this. I think it was Alex, our moderator. It was actually further back than you realise it was. What can we stick in? Do you know what? Let's stick A400. Probably has landed at East Midlands at some points. Let's stick an A400 in. Let's stick an A400 there. Let's just role play and imagine we've got an A400 on the ground at East Midlands. How's everyone doing on this Sunday? Hope everyone's had a fantastic weekend. I am on the computer this evening. I am on the computer tomorrow to get some things done, and then I'm off for Manchester with the family to celebrate my lovely wife's birthday. Taking the baby with us, so we're going to stay in a nice hotel. We're going to have some nice food. I'm going to come back home, and then for the rest of the week I will be continuing on more videos and more stuff for you guys. But yeah, won't be doing too much on the Tuesday and Wednesday, guys. So there won't be any Wednesday live stream this week. There might actually only be one live stream this week, in all honesty. Couple little quirks that I've noticed since I did the Sim Update 3 video. When you load into some sceneries, not all the time, that's some bad flickering there. Again, some things could be made by Sim Update 3, but in particular, when you're loading into the world map, I think initially from the menu, it kind of freezes for about 5 seconds. And then sometimes when you load into flights, interiors of aircraft cockpits and into airport sceneries, actually texture-wise, don't load in at first. So that, for me in particular, that is something that's evident on Sim Update 3. That definitely did not happen. That's not a placebo. That did not happen for me prior to installing that update. But yeah, Pyreegue East Midlands, another one that became an instant favourite of mine once I installed it, once I jumped back into Flight Sim 2024. And again, fantastic scenery, lovely scenery. Cheers, mate. Yeah, we're hopefully going to have a good time while we're away, and mostly going for the food, of course. But yeah, we've got a couple of places we like to eat in Manchester, and we're staying in a hotel we've never stayed in, so should be a nice little day or two away. But yeah, this is another one, guys. You'll see that again, just like FlyTampa Humberside, we have an animated bus. Pyreegue, not a stranger to doing this, and I would say the animations are a slightly bit better. The driver doesn't look like he's going off course too much, and I would say the buses also, model wise, it's still a Skylink bus, but model wise it's a more detailed. You have got a driver on there, interior and lights. I don't think the one at Humberside had as much detail in it, if I'm going to be totally honest. No, you can't. Bit of grub, bit of food. But what I would say, that guys, if you don't have kids, best thing you can do, but be aware you will never eat your own meal ever again. for a certain amount of time, of course. We're hitting that moment now where she's at that age where, yeah, she wants your food and not hers. So yeah. But yeah, we have some time tomorrow, I think, me and the wife, while the baby is being minded. So we should get some time together, which is good. But yeah, the DHL hangar fully modelled, and as you can see, guys, performance fantastic. All the DHL lorries, all the real world cars, the outer perimeter road, also as well. Donington Racecourse, the racecourse over here has been done with animated cars. So all the buildings here fully custom modelled with really, really well animated cars, may I add. I know for a while this was quite a hard thing for developers to do, to keep the cars on the road. As you can see, sometimes they do glitch into the road, but it's very well done. The smoothness and the fluidity of the animations is spot on with the cars. Again, racetrack and stands and everything all fully modelled. But I would say this is a right underneath under the approach path. So it was a priority of Pyreegue is to get that modelled in, because it's such a prominent landmark, a point of interest. So they are going around really smoothly, mate. And I think there was a couple of devs doing this before it was kind of people started doing it more and more. But again, it's not something you see a lot of. Obviously, now we are getting cars you can drive and stuff, and we are seeing more animations thanks to 2024. But the likes of Burn and Blue Designs did I think they did animated cars on their Goodwood scenery. Obviously that's a racetrack in itself, and they did animated cars, and even those, that was a while back, and that was very, very good. Yeah, definitely. Again, because it's look of the proximity of the runway, the approach path to the actual track, it's right underneath. So through the cockpit window, you're gonna see them. You're gonna see them. The last couple of 100 feet coming down. Again, the aviation museum, the Aero Park is I think these are all spot on. As far as I'm aware, these are all here. Gazelle. I think we've got a Vampire, Nimrod, Vulcan, Lightning. Couple of ones that I'm not completely sure about. I know that's a Buccaneer. I think that's a Buccaneer. That is a very anticipated aircraft for flights, and people. I've seen a lot of people wanting the Buccaneer. There's Gazelle there. Looks like they're all authentically regged up as well. I think that's another Lightning there. Some of them are a bit repeated, but again, I believe these are here in real life. And we also do have some spotters down here as well. At the end, I believe this is quite a popular spot for aviation photographers and spotters. I know it seems a bit like Manchester Airport, the way you've got the sort of the outer perimeter public footpath, which you can go down very easily. But again, this is just on another level of detail. If you know Pyreegue and you've got his sceneries, I think at this point, I think any simmer would have at least one of his sceneries, if not all of them. These might be static models. I know we didn't put any static models in. Let me just double check. Yeah, these are all static models. I know we didn't put any static models in his Birmingham, and I think developers are doing it less and less now because of the amount of third-party AI traffic add-ons that allow for that as well. But it's such a densely populated airport scenery. It's all there. TUI offices. The car parks are some of the best, if not the best. Again, populated car parks. Everything's there. The rental services, the hotels, the terminal. And again, this has got a very huge interior model. We won't be able to go through it all, but you can dive straight in and go down all of the the piers and the gates. And I know Pyreegue, he mentioned obviously Birmingham having a massive space to go down, but this is huge. All the way down onto the stands, right next to the gates, the actual apron itself. Again, Pyreegue opting for animated people, which he does so well. There's a lot of developers who choose static people to help with performance, but as we all know, Pyreegue has got some kind of magic wand he uses and seems to just excel at the performance. It's pretty. It's so good. The chairs as well. I mean, just the smaller things like the chairs. They're just so detailed. Good to see you, Alex, mate. Alex has been on an adventure, haven't you, mate? You've been on a little adventure in real life. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining the live stream. As you can see, we're in a brand new space, which will hopefully soon be more populated with stuff and look a bit nicer. But for now, I've literally only been done for the last hour, like I said before. So it's been quite a fast-paced day. But yeah, again, Frank and Benny's there just look so authentic. Look at these guys having a meal here. He hasn't got any knife and fork, but it is what it is, isn't it? The steak looks fantastic, man. He's hungry. He's got a bit of pizza. She's got like a shellfish platter. He's got fish and chips and a steak and a pizza. So, you know, he's doing it the right way. He knows what he's doing. These guys enjoying a nice beer before they get on the plane. Bit of Guinness, of course. Doing it right. Fantastic. Love it. Love to see it. Pork and pickle. Again, it's also right for me to point out that Pyreegue is Ukraine based. He's based in the Ukraine. So the sheer fact that his UK airports feel so authentic and just so detailed is just it's so commendable. And obviously we know where he's heading next. He's off to Parma, so he's leaving the UK now, which it's a bit sad. I would have liked to have seen a couple of more UK airports done by Pyreegue, but you know, he might return. He might be only popping over to Spain for a while. But just look at the detail, man. So good. Just want to fly. There's another cargo apron over here. I just want to fly over here just to show you just how, again, much of the landside area that's been done. Look at that. The 737 with the retrofitted scimitars, I think there. Leonardo Hotel. Fantastic. It really is. It's so good. There's a couple of more hotels over here. The factories and warehouses over here are also done. Amazon, DHL. Again, I think that Pyreegue would obviously want to do, because of it being so closely located to the airport, and a site this big would, you know, it would need to be done, I think, just to keep things immersive, and it's not just the buildings, it's the scenery, the landscape, and that's been done, you know, very, very, very good scenery. Again, as everything I'm showing in this video, recommended. Go and get it, even if you don't fly in this part of the world. It's good to start exploring new routes, and you've got a nice little selection here. You've got some of the low cost carriers, but also you've got your cargo operations here. 747s, 767s. This airport still sees some of the classics. I think you've still got some 747 cargos going in. 757 cargos. I meant 767s, and obviously all of your low-cost carriers as well. So you wouldn't go wrong. You're sorted with all your routes in this one. We are heading to another UK one, just further south. This one wasn't featured on the channel recently. It was actually a while back now, this year. But yeah, this is another one I got really hyped for, and funnily enough, I'm really hoping that this takes the same path as Manchester. So we're looking at an iniBuilds one, of course, and this was announced, I believe, at kind of like the end of March, kind of middle of March. And when iniBuilds showed this, it was kind of just a sign, like a landside road sign, and you know, the first announcement, and then a month later, pretty much a month later, it was out. And I hope Manchester's the same thing, because if that's the case, we should be getting Manchester in about a month, maybe, something like that, I would say. Let's hope. But, of course, I mean Gatwick. Now, bit of a disclaimer. The last couple of times I've been here, it's not been the smoothest, unfortunately. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in the A400 because honestly the A400 can get about these days. It seems to end up in most airports. We'll stick it on a medium ramp, which probably won't be big enough for it, but hey ho. Let's see, anyone good in the chat? Yeah, need to get him to do Leeds Bradford with the new terminal. Again, I don't know in terms of what Pyreegue's plans are now. Personally, I thought he was going to go to Manchester, but I think based on the fact that we've got iniBuilds doing Manchester, and we also got I think they're called Author or Ether simulations also doing Manchester. So obviously we don't know what's happened with Maco's version 2. I won't say any more about that. We don't know what's happened with it. There's tier models or tire models. Again, that's okay, but it's apparently not the best. And then again, we've got iniBuilds and Ether simulations doing Manchester. So we've got 2 Manchesters coming. It's going to be interesting who's going to put out the most complete, the most immersive Manchester, because it's not all about looks. Obviously, it's got to be the most authentic experience. Taxiways, stands, the correct signage, all that type of thing. So it'd be interesting if iniBuilds and Ether or Ether simulations put out similar Manchesters in terms of overall quality of everything, or whether they're just completely on different levels. Who knows? These guys might absolutely crush iniBuilds. I don't know, but it's exciting. We're gonna get 2 Manchesters. Gatwick, yeah, it is Gatwick. It doesn't seem to be wanting to load at the minute. In fact, the scenery itself doesn't actually appear. The ground texture or anything doesn't seem to be loading, which is quite interesting. Also, as well, I think, if I'm going to be totally honest, I think the Sims actually froze. Luckily, it hasn't. But yet it is Gatwick. I believe, obviously, in terms of the overall quality, you know, the model and the texture work, especially the texture work, you know, it's better than the freeware one, but the freeware one is still holding. There's still a lot of people who use the freeware version of Gatwick because it's still highly respected, highly rated. Have they got any cargo ramp at all? I think let's just stick the A400 there, see if we can get this to load, because as you can see, the ground textures aren't loading, but the actual model, the actual airport model is loading. And I don't know if this zoom out trick needs to be done anymore. Yes, so Bacon, yes. So for me, I know tier models did the RVP. I know obviously Mako didn't get to that point. It was just very basic in the end. But yeah, I want to see in either or both of them. I want to see a very good runway viewing park. I really do. I'd love to see the hangar, even if it hasn't got an interior. Just maybe if we can just see into the glass and we can see Concorde sitting there. Yeah, yeah. Do you know what? I'm hoping that we are going to get these Manchesters around the same time. But in my humble and personal opinion, I think we're going to get iniBuilds first. But that's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. I just feel like we're going to get iniBuilds Manchester first. So yeah, I can't wait to explore it. I feel like I've been around Manchester Airport so much as a passenger, as a real world plane spotter. I feel like I've seen a lot of Manchester inside and out. So it'd be nice to see a really fleshed out landside. It doesn't look like Gatwick's loading, guys. To be honest with you, I'm gonna see if any scenery's loading because I don't know if you know or have seen it, but sometimes you can load in a scenery, try and load into it. It'll clearly just get stuck or just be in an endless loop, and then you try and go somewhere else, and it doesn't load, and then nowhere loads. A prime example for that is actually Zhevietsky Design's Boeing Field and Renton. At the minute, they seem not Renton actually. Boeing Field seems to be doing it. You can't actually start on the ground there. You have to basically set your approach to miles away, fly in, and then explore it. It doesn't seem to want to work in 2024. Gatwick, I haven't been in it since I actually live streamed Gatwick. But it'd be interesting to see now. I'm just going to test this out just by trying to load into this freeware Mildenhall. Oh no, this isn't freeware, I don't think. This is actually a payware. This is actually the same stand that I'm starting on is where I started the Vulcan 50 video. This is actually a payware. So luckily, it doesn't seem to have made anything stick. But hopefully, we can just quit out and see if Gatwick will load. A400 seems fine. I'm not going to change the plane. Maybe we could change it to a smaller aircraft just for loading's sake. But this is one that I got really hyped for, and it is very detailed, and it's good when it works apparently. So this, for me, this one is really a bit of a disappointment that I'm showing this one on live stream. The fact that it won't load, not ideal. Let's try the caravan. It's nothing too mad, but we'll stick it down here, or maybe not there. Maybe we'll stick it by the Boeing hangar and see what kind of response. None of the ground textures are loading up except here, so I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, this was on the list, is on the list. It's a fantastic airport. iniBuilds have done a fantastic job with this, and I've never had this issue with it. It's always been fine, oddly enough. Airport night work. It might not work with some updates 3. You're completely right. It might not. Obviously, the iniBuilds A350, the whole cockpit seems to be kind of, like I said before, flash and do like a light party, and then it works. So it might not work. You are right. That's the thing. You know, some of these might not load purely because of sim update 3. I mean, I will keep it on the list there. We might try and come back to it, but for the sake of the live stream and for the sake, we don't really want to have any dead air, if you like. We'll move on. I like the fact that we can just press escape and go back for the most part. Let's head over to an airport that we featured recently. I featured recently. I say we sometimes, and there's like no one else who does videos with me. So we are going to look at Impulse Simulations Port Lincoln. Now, I did the trailer for this, and it's not the reason why it has become a favourite this year. I'll obviously talk about that when we're there. I'm also really excited to have a look at Rex Atmos as well, because I've seen some of the screenshots and it looks like it's gonna replace the need of reshade. Now, I don't have any issues with reshade. Reshade might as well not be there. Also, you can see that the hangar is up in the air. That isn't the sceneries fault. That is a 2024 issue, guys. So just keep that in mind. The only way to fix that is for me to actually completely quit the simulator. You'd also see these Qantas Link Dash 8s. It's good to see a Dash 8 in the sim, of course, but that is actually just flight traffic automatically load. So there's no static models apart from a couple of aircraft here, which I'll show you. But this, guys, please be aware that this is nothing to do with the scenery. It's a 2024 issue. This is a 2020 scenery with 2024 compatibility. Generally, some things will float. I know in most sceneries, Pyreegue, Birmingham, most sceneries have some kind of floating thing, and it generally just figures itself out after a while. But yeah, that is not an issue with the actual scenery. It happens in all good sceneries. But let me show you a couple of things in this one. First of all, the absolutely incredible apron and runway textures that Josh from Impulse has put in. You can see he's put a lot of oil slick in. The oil slick looks fantastic. Let me just move this fan because I'm getting a bit warm. Oops a daisy. Yes, so the apron textures, the runway textures, the taxiway textures are absolutely phenomenal in this. There's obviously a lot to this scenery. It's a small scenery. It's got a lot of the surrounding roads and scenery and signage to it. But what impressed me, apart from those, is just how good the texture work on the ground is, the runway markings, the taxiway markings. You can see that there's no uniformity to it. We've got a completely different bit of tarmac and concrete to one here. More sort of water and oil slick on the floor where you would expect it to be, where the aircraft is situated. And these streaks across as well. It's so, Josh has done so well with the detail, and again, Josh is fantastic at doing this detail. And obviously the terminal itself, full interior to the terminal. You can go right the way through. He's also put the little DC6, I think, in there. Which he had to show me on the live stream because honestly, I completely missed it. But it's fantastic. It really is a lovely, lovely scenery. And the runway textures too. The runway textures are fantastic. And this has got a fair few runways. It's got two sort of intersect and crossing gravel ones, and then the main one, which again is a decent size. But if you have a look at the runway textures, you can actually see there's just the slick and the water on the floor, on the runway, streaking down. Very, very nice. Very nicely done. Hello there. Rex Atmos going to be free upgrade to those who hadn't. No, it is going to be a paid, I believe, some kind of discount. I am not too sure, but it will not be free for existing customers because it is a brand new program, they've said. So obviously they haven't said any more, but they've showed some images of Rex Atmos or Rex Atmos Core. It's not called Rex Atmos 2024, it's called Rex Atmos Core. And obviously the main questions, or the main two questions, was when's it coming out, which they keep on saying soon, but that has honestly been about a month now, easily. They've shown pretty much every week some new shots of the atmospheric effects and the colouring, which again I was saying to you, on your screen now you'll see the colour palette change. So that is default colour for Flight Sim 2024. And then you'll see it flick to a cooler blue, if you like. I prefer it that way. Some people don't. But with the Rex Atmos, especially in 2020, you don't need reshade, and it doesn't just change the color; it changes the cloud effects and the kind of the horizon color and the haze, and it looks so good, man. I've just completed a draft for a new aircraft using 2020 and Rex Atmos, and it just looks incredible. But no, Rex Atmos is not going to be free for existing customers. It's going to be, I think it's going to be full price for new customers and going to be a discounted rate, I believe. I don't know the price, but they've said that it's not the same program. It's because it's running for 2024. It's a brand new interface, a new program. So I'm hoping to see some kind of persistence there in terms of setting Rex Atmos so that it automatically just starts working when you load the simulator. Because I can't do it, but I don't think you can do it for Rex Atmos for 2020. You always have to select your preset and then it runs from an external program. Another thing, weirdly enough, that I never really kind of noticed was the dust on the floor for the gravel runways. You can see that the red dust, the red gravel going across the tarmac. Again, lovely little touch. And what I will do before we move on, guys, is I want to show you something that I didn't show in the trailer, and I felt terrible because I didn't know it was actually part of Josh's scenery, Impulse simulation scenery. I thought it was just a normal included point of interest. Is the actual port sort of buildings right the way over here. This was done by Josh, and I didn't show it in the live stream or in the trailer. So, but yeah, this has all been done as well. No worries, mate. No, I mean, it would have been nice for them to do it for free, but if they've had to go in and completely do all the coding for a new program, which it makes sense with it being 2024 and an external program, it's not like you're putting an add-on in the community folder. You are actually running an external program, and they've had to make it work with 2024, and obviously it hasn't worked. You can't just, like, if you try and use 2020 Rex Atmos with 2024, it doesn't do anything. It just still says waiting for simulator. So they've obviously had to work a bit harder and make the program recognize 2024. But yeah, this is something I completely missed off the trailer, guys, which me and Josh said, well, it's a good job we didn't show everything off in the trailer. But again, he's modeled all this again on kind of your final approach into Port Lincoln. Again, fantastic. I do like to see when developers add in, especially stuff on approach or departure, because I just think it makes sense to add more immersion to an airport that you've put some landmarks that will be seen on approach. Really adds to the immersion, in my opinion. Let's head back to the UK. Again, these were more recently shown on the channel. The last 3 airports. We're going to have to kind of have a quick look over them. because we need to head off to Brazil to end the stream. But yeah, we're back in the UK, and we're going to be taking a look at RWProfiles Newcastle, because we had to, guys, because not just the fact that this is insanely good and so well done, it's the fact that this one just caught me so off guard. Like, I was not expecting this. So Alex, our moderator, a good friend of mine, he messaged me one day and said, have you seen this? And I was like, oh no, because I already had the Orbx's Newcastle installed. And funnily enough, someone said on a live stream a few days before that, before I was touring Manchester, so the Samsung Manchester scenery, someone said you should do Newcastle, but we really do need a brand new Newcastle scenery because it's out of date now. Funny enough, Alex messaged me and goes, look at this new Newcastle, look at these guys. And these guys did I think it was Springfield Branson in America. And before that, they were known for GSX profiles. They're called RWProfiles, and they started previewing this rendition of Newcastle. And this rendition of Newcastle is so freaking good. Like, very, very good. This, for me, this is the quality you'd get on Pyreegue, FlyTampa, iniBuilds, kind of all rolled up into one. Now, I'm not here to compare sceneries, but this is so bloody good. Like, it is very well done. And again, I'll just show you around so we can get through the last couple of sceneries. But so far, as well as a couple of others, we've had some burn and blue design sceneries that have been really immersive and well done for your sort of your GA flying. But this Newcastle scenery is just, again, this one, just out the box, the performance is perfect. There's no, I don't know how they've done it. Again, they have some kind of magic wand, because they've managed to cram so much detail. Even the FBO, the little private terminal here, the executive terminal, has got a little scenery. You've got that's Shane Thingy from X Factor, isn't it? Back in the day. Yeah. He was on Coronation Street. Does look like him. Actually, do you know what? I'm gonna have to take a picture for my wife. Not the fact that she'd be like, oh, look at him. I think she'd be like, oh, my God, that looks like him so much. Right. Okay, so yeah, again, FBO modeled interior. You've also got this is an animated door. I'm not going to bother animating it because I think you need to do a proximity thing. But again, the interior is incredible for this hangar. It's got all the workshops and signs and desks and plugs and light switches. They've done such an amazing job. The old 737-200, 300 as well. I think this was a New Zealand or an Australian regged aircraft at one point. But again, the static model's acceptable. It's good. Again, I don't think I've ever seen sort of, apart from using actual included model, static models from the simulator, I don't think I've seen any really, actually, tell a lie. In Milo's McCall scenery, his helicopters, his sky cranes, they were very detailed static models. We've also looks like Just Flight Traffic has been spawned in, which is good to see. But yeah, the quality of what we're getting now with these sceneries, and I wouldn't say these guys are newcomers at all, but I would say in terms of the sceneries they've had, as I say, Springfield Branson in America. And this, like, I know they did it in about 15 to 14 months. It's absolutely, it's amazing. Got a Tesla there. the Emirates branded ATC as well. And then the outer perimeter, again, the red fencing, it's so complete, and it's just so incredible. I mean, this would be, I would argue, the case now, for sure. If you've got Orbx as Newcastle, then it's time for an upgrade. And I don't think Orbx would mind me saying that at this point, because they must see this quality and be thinking, okay, fair enough. Again, taxiway markings, texture work, all fantastic. There's lights down here. This section down here is very, very well done. Look at the lights, the grids. There's actually grids and all the integrated lighting. It is very, like, intricate work. It's if you are a Newcastle flyer, this is a must. I think it's a must anyway. If you're a serious simmer, you've got to be getting onto this one. This is very, very good. You're surprised Birmingham or EGPH didn't make the cut? Birmingham did make the cut, mate. That's where we're heading next. There's no way I'm leaving Birmingham out, man. I think the other Pyreegue stuff is a bit older now. I think they really are associated with Flight Sim 2020 at this point. These new ones, the Newcastle and Birmingham, yeah, definitely. And again, I featured this. Obviously, I did the official trailer for Birmingham, and that's not the reason why they're featured as my favorite. They're my favorite because they're bloody amazing. But yeah, Birmingham's next. And then one that I featured on a live stream the other day, which I really, really want more people to see, because it is, again, the guys who I'm going to show, not new to development, but they are a new sort of development company who have had a lot of experience in the flight sim business, and they've put together some incredible looking scenery. If you tuned into my Brazilian airports one, you'll know which one I'm heading off to, because it is just as brilliant as these guys as well. I won't go too much into the interiors, but you can actually see the just outstanding work that RWProfiles did with Newcastle. Funny enough as well, they actually I guess fun fact for you, these guys did actually model the old control tower, but I believe when they were doing it, that it actually got knocked down. It got taken away from this section of the older buildings. They fully modeled it in, like it was ready to go. It wasn't like in any kind of alpha stage. It was fully done, modeled, textured, and set to be put in. But they actually took it out because they took it away in real life, which was pretty cool to read about and see. I think you can actually see that on their Discord. But yeah, the metros all in there, all the hotels. It's a piece of art. It really is. And if you want to see a densely populated car park, then these guys did it. These guys did. Yeah. Don't know how we are getting anywhere close to the frame rates we're getting. And if you're wondering, everything's on ultra. This is probably the lowest I've seen my frame rate in a good while, 35, 36. But that is because this part of the airport is the most dense. You'll start seeing it go up and up when we start moving over. It's just incredible, man. It's so damn good. But yeah, with that being, oh, hang on, what was that? Oh, it was a street. It was a lamp. It was a lamp. I thought it was a plane. But yeah, these models here, these are part of Just Flight Traffic. These aren't static models included. The radar there, again, probably something I missed from the last time I actually looked at it. But if you want to see a radar, wait till the last airport. But yeah, with that being said, no, Birmingham wasn't missed out, because Birmingham is incredible. Birmingham is, oh God, where are we? Too high. I thought we were that low. We're here. This is the second Pyreegue one we're looking at. My stream on here is so far behind. It's unreal. The car park is the American dream. So, no, we're not leaving Birmingham out. Birmingham is here. This is the second of Pyreegue's. Fantastic airports. What I would say with this one is, and I know Pyreegue won't mind me saying this, but in terms of the interior compared to East Midlands, we're not getting as much interior. And what I mean by that is we don't get like the landside area. We don't get the check-in desks and that kind of stuff. Airside interior, we get a lot of it. A hell of a lot of interior. But there was a reason for that. I think Pyreegue decided that over the course of him making the sceneries, that obviously the feedback that he's been given, the landside interiors, check-in desks, stuff like that wasn't really applicable. There was no point of wasting resources when he could put it into other things. And again, this is the quality you're getting with him. He's an incredible, like, a solo developer, if you can believe that. The old terminal here, the hotels, the Holiday Inn, the Travel Lodge. Again, another Emirates branded tower. I actually went down this road on the way to London to do some plane spotting, a little solo trip that I made a couple of months back on the National Express coach, and I went right past it. It was cool because obviously I'd been talking to Pyreegue, and he was obviously in the middle of creating the scenery, and it was good to see it in real life because I don't think I've never actually been here to do any spotting or anything. The closest I've been was on that coach. But yeah, the airport. And again, apologise. I am missing the night lighting quite a lot in this scenery. So I do apologise, but more of an excuse to go off and have a look at these airports is because the night lighting in all sceneries that I've featured, it's fantastic. It really is. Look at the green lighting in here as well. Ooh. It's lovely stuff, it really is. All the reflections on the glass. Again, the Sim Update 3 bringing us in 2024 just so much better lighting, and it was very apparent in Birmingham. A lot of bloom on the taxiway lights and the runway lights, but now it's just so much better. It's so much better. I wouldn't say it's perfect. When you get close, it's a bit, but you're not getting that stupidly horrible bad bloom of any lights at this point. It's good to see. Very, very welcome thing to see. So again, guys, all I ask is if you do enjoy the live stream, if you're rewatching this live stream, please leave a comment. Tell me what your favorite airports have been so far, specifically in Flight Sim 2024. What are you excited for? Any upcoming airports? And then, if you're interested in carry on the conversation, join me on my Discord, linked in the description, and any social media. Give me a message, guys. I'm very active on all that. So come in and ask me questions if you like, or let me know of some airports that you think might want to be featured on here. If you're a developer watching and you think you might want your upcoming scenery on one of the live streams, and very, of course, welcome as much as I can, really. But yeah, I'd like to know what everyone is hyped for, what your most anticipated airport is, what your favorite airport has been so far. My most anticipated airport is obviously both of the Manchesters, not in particular iniBuilds or the other. I'm excited to both purely because I'm excited to see what both developers bring to the table. But yeah, this is just very, very cool. And I don't know if anyone's found all the Easter eggs that Pyreegue was hiding. I noticed one that I never checked out. If you look for the little glow sticks, you will find a Easter egg. And there you go. a double fretted Gibson SG. So there's one of them. If you're still looking for them, guys, Pyreegue did put a little treasure hunt in his Birmingham scenery. If you didn't know that, I don't think many people have or found any. There's a couple of others. The only other one I'll show you is the porch, because I think I showed that on my pre-release live stream. The Porsche is over here. That's brilliant. It is, I know. Not many people know about it, but look, there's the classic Porsche. It's fun, and there's a lot. I think there's about 15 or 16. So yeah, if you've got Birmingham, go and have a little hunt. And I believe since this has come out, they are taking this Skylink away. I've read that they're taking this overhead train away. So yeah. But yeah, just one of those classic, already classic Pyreegue sceneries that it's just so complete. It doesn't. I don't ever like to see a developer putting out anything early. It does generally annoy me, especially if it's a freeware airport and there's a person who's doing it with their spare time and doing it for a passion project and just working on it gradually. Yeah, fair enough to a point, but not if you're going to spend 15-20 quid on an airport and you're getting half an airport. No, not into all that. Pyreegue, for example, his updates would mostly fix any little niggling things, any glitches or something. Maybe even things that are added later on, like he did with Edinburgh version 2, but for the most part, I mean, this is just, if you remember on my live stream, my pre-release live stream, I actually drove round these roads in a little transit van, and it was so immersive. I don't really recommend any drivable sort of cars or vans or whatever in the sim, because at the end of the day, it's a flight sim, but sometimes it's pretty cool doing it. Like some of the boats you can get, they're really cool. Like they are so fun to just go into a river or a sea and just spend some time at sea. It's weird, and if you've got any kind of AI traffic, you can obviously see some of the aircraft going up overhead and stuff like that. It's cool. It's cool. Have a little bit of a drink. My throat's getting really, really, really dry. But yeah, we've got one more to see. We're actually heading towards the end of the live stream now. Again, these aircraft are part of the Just Flight traffic. They're not part of Pyreegue's any static models. So yeah, we didn't spend a lot of time there. We've not long took a look at that, but if you are interested, you can go back into my live streams and rewatch the Birmingham pre-release stream. It shows you every inch of the airport in that. To end this stream today, I want to take you on one that I took a look at very recently, and it's become one of my favorite. Along with everything you've seen today, this is just on another level. If I can remember the code, I can remember the code. This is in Brazil. So this is linked in the description, but this is only available through the in-sim marketplace. You can't get this on any third-party market. The guys at FlyT will have it available at some point, but these guys are just starting out. But funnily enough, the main person, Leonardo from FlyT, he's actually come from Gaia Simulations. I was a bit confused at first because I dove into this one similar to Newcastle, and I was looking around going, Jesus, this is really, really detailed. And even he said, we realize that people aren't going to know these airports, and obviously people from Brazil, maybe, yeah, they certainly simmers from Brazil. So they got a smaller audience, but I really want to show everyone this because there's some good routes you can do with these, but also these guys, obviously, they're starting out. They're wanting to head over to America and Europe to do some airports there. So have a look at the quality of this and just think to yourselves, what would you like to see in America and Europe from these guys? Because I've already said to them, if you're going to come to Europe, do Liverpool Airport. Okay, it's not massive. Oh, look at that. I haven't had that for a while. Maybe that's why Gatwick wasn't loading. But yeah, I said if you're going to come over to Europe, do Liverpool because we need a really, really good Liverpool airport now. And although it's not big, the routes aren't massive. There's a lot of simmers who would love to have Liverpool, in my opinion. Apart from your own aircraft. Oh, let me have a little look. One thing that really winds me up is the third-party injectors can't connect to. Surprise flight beams isn't included. It isn't included, Carl, because I don't have it. That's the Captain's Edition San Francisco, is it? I have. Do you know? Funnily enough, Carl, you're saying that. I saw that on Contrail and I need to take a look at it. It's on my list, Carl. Brazil, I reckon most of us will know it. I mean, I think you were in the live stream when I took a look at this anyway, mate. So it's no surprise, but this became an instant hit for me. Again, all right, the live stream title says the best airport, but the thumbnail and the title does kind of it does say that these are my own favorites. They're not kind of what I would consider, everyone's best. Now, straight off the bat, guys, you'll notice that the ground textures haven't loaded in. Funnily enough, I haven't had any issues with internet. And I hope it's nothing to do with the fact that I've moved everything into this room. So fingers crossed. It's just a little bit of a hiccup. Let me do a little speed test to see what's going on. I mean, it's not the best. It's certainly not the internet speed I usually get, but it shouldn't be causing this. We can obviously download these airports now through because of Sim Update 3, so I might start doing that. It's loaded in now. Yeah, Flight Beam Studios are very, very good. I've got Wellington and Auckland. Is that the ones that they do? Yes, Wellington, Auckland. I have them. They're so good. Flightbeam are fantastic. They really are. They're another one. There's a mod that adds riverbanks. I know, mate. I know. I've got it. As soon as I went on flightsim.to and saw that, I was like, instant download. Not just because it was free. I probably would have paid for it, but it really, really helps with the docs because the docs look terrible and some of the other things. Yeah, instant downloaded, installed it, mate. Yeah, definitely. True, but not 24 native product. I reckon Swedish airports deserve honourable mentions. Definitely. Marcus does the Orbx ones, doesn't he? I do have did he do? What was the like Berg or Berger or something like that? I can't remember. I think he did one of them. But yeah, I agree. Haven't used the default Asobo airports for years. They are better in 2024. The ones that were so not the ones that were basically brought over from 2020. I don't think we've seen any update to them in terms of the quality. But the ones that were included as part of 2024's handcrafted airport, yes, they are. So if you go to the likes of Bilbao, so if you stay in the live stream, Clever Trevor, great name by the way. If you stay in the live stream, mate, I'll go to Bilbao and show you what the default Bilbao is if you haven't seen it. But yeah, no, Carl, totally. I need to check out San Francisco. I really, really do. That is on my list. There's also someone doing a new, I won't say, another New Zealand airport, a quite big New Zealand airport. There's another developer doing one, and they're very, very good developer, and I will be featuring that on the channel. I can't say what it is, but they will be doing it. I've seen it on like in development screenshots of it. I can say that, and it's fantastic. So there is some more New Zealand stuff coming. I can't wait to show you that. Handcrafted, reasonable now. Yep. Between that and recent photograph, Liverpool is brilliant. Yes, Liverpool's photogrammetry is one of the better photogrammetry areas. It's not a tin. It's not a triangular, irregular network. That's the new scanned photogrammetry that Asobo use for their new world updates and city updates. It's none of that. It's the older Bing photogrammetry, but Liverpool's a good example of good photogrammetry. It's very well done. Manchester, I'm only hoping that there's going to be a new city update UK soon. Obviously, we've had Germany. I hope they stay close to the UK and get a UK city update done. Manchester has to be in there because all we've got now is obviously any kind of freeware ones, and we've got Samscene 3D, which is pretty good. That's quite a substantial scenery add-on for Manchester, and it's good. But yeah, we definitely do. MK's latest are Stewart 2, but essentially 2020 ports. Yeah, I mean at this point, you're gonna see the quality in the 2024 native ones. But yeah, there's a good news. There's another big New Zealand airport coming from from a very, very good developer as well. I've seen pictures of it, and that's going to be another big one. A fellow scenery holiday, you've got a sub. Clever Trevor, mate. Yeah. What I would say is we're looking at Afonso to finish the live stream, and I will go to Bilbao because I want to show you what that looks like is in terms of a 2024 default scenery. Thank you for the sub, by the way, mate. I really appreciate it. The channel started in 2020, obviously with FlyT in 2020. I did the first things I did for the channel was just basic flying over landmarks, I think my very first one was flying over Snowdonia. Then I did some other ones flying over a freeware Disneyland mod, just in the Cessna. Then I started doing airport reviews, and my channel, that's where the biggest growth came, was my 40 to 50 minute airport reviews. And I used to record what the airport looked like in default, and then I'd load it back in again and then record stuff in the payware or the freeware. That took a lot of time, but back then, mate, what I would say is I didn't have nearly a 2-year-old daughter, and obviously it's not COVID anymore. I was punching out a video every day, sometimes twice daily. It was nuts on the channel. Then I started doing trailers and cinematics, mate, and since then, yeah, a lot of people already know, quite a few people watching already know that things took their toll on me. I wasn't enjoying flight simming. I wasn't enjoying content creation for a number of factors. So I decided to stop it. I took a year away. I didn't have any plans to come back to it. I did. I'm glad that I've come back to it, and now it's just been a bit more mellow and a bit nicer. So I've been doing more kind of live stream reviews, still doing my cinematics, and I'm trying to get other bits, YouTube shorts out. But yeah, mate, I appreciate it. But yeah, I am a fellow, yeah, definitely a scenery holic, mate. That's where I'd use my sort of expertise in terms of picking out all the details and having done reviews in the past rather than aircraft. I'm all right with aircraft, but it's not my bread and butter like scenery. Marcus did Orlando. Gothenburg is what I was thinking about. I did say Berger or Berg or something like that. I can't remember what I said, did I? But Gothenburg, I've got Gothenburg. I haven't, and I've got Malmo as well. I've got Orlando. I've got all of them. I've got all of them. But yeah, the reason why they're not on the list, Carl, is not because they're not amazing, is because I haven't spent enough time in them. I got them and I haven't done any flights or actually had a look at them. Same as the Aerosoft Berlin. I got it, and the only time I looked at it was yesterday, and it didn't impress me as much as the Brussels. And I'm pretty sure Berlin's newer than the Brussels one, isn't it? Or is it older? Because if it's older, then it makes sense. But honestly, I was not impressed with Berlin compared to the Brussels scenery. I really wasn't. Carl, that's who it is, mate. If you've said it on the live stream, I'm not going to hide it. Obviously, they must have already announced it. I thought it was. I was under the impression that they hadn't said anything. So that's the reason why I wasn't saying something in case they hadn't, and I didn't want to be like, oh, they're doing Queenstown, huh? No, and I actually thought the Queenstown was the kind of older one, and they were upgrading it to 2024. It wasn't. It was iniBuilds, and I didn't realize it was iniBuild that did it. It was weird. I was like, "Are you sure it was iniBuilds?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Sorry for questioning it. I didn't think iniBuild did Queenstown." But yeah, it's looking fantastic, mate. So that will be on the channel when that starts coming into its pre-release stage. But this is FlyT Simulations. As I say, the main guy, Leonardo from FlyT, he is one of the top guys from Gaia Simulations, moved over to form his own development team, and these guys do actual full models. So most of all of the ground vehicles and stuff like that are all modeled, and they do their own textures. They do everything. So these guys aren't using any kind of third-party assets for the most part. It's mostly all their stuff, and the quality of the scenery is just incredible. Like it's one of the, it's again, these guys even said, like, listen, we're new. We realize not everyone's going to see these airports. So I said, listen, I will try and push them as much as possible. And going into it, I was like, Brazil, oh, I'd try and stay closer to home, I guess, but this is just so well done, and the mind boggles to where they're going to end up next. I can't wait to see what US or what European airport they do, because if it's in this quality, which it's going to be, then we're in for a treat. This is Afonso Pena, which is Sierra Bravo Charlie Tango. And funnily enough, Leonardo from FlyT, say, was in Gaia Simulations. He actually worked on some of the handcrafted airports we get in 2024. The Brazilian World Update, for example, he was part of those airports. And when he told me that, I was like, you're part of Gaia. Makes sense. Airport's incredible. Okay, Carl. Thank you so much. I think I have, but I will double check that, mate. It's a good point. I will double check that. Because most of the Orbx stuff got 2024 compatibility. Funnily enough, where was I? Their Auckland City Pack hasn't had a 2024 compatibility update. It works in 2024. The 2020 package does. I just copied it over, but that hasn't received any 2024 compatibility. which I thought was weird because most have. Now, little thing, guys. Oh, we saw this in the stream, but this was something I found incredible. Is the CCTVs are dynamic. Now, you won't see aircraft moving, but what you will see is if I change it to nighttime, they go to nighttime. They move dynamically with the light, which I thought was just so cool. Like, really cool. Never seen that before. I've seen clocks move to the time in the sim and stuff. Never seen that done. That is pretty clever. But yeah, I think no problem, Trevor. Sorry, mate. I'll see you in a bit, but I'll be going to Bilbao in a second. In reality, there are way too many Sublime airports available now to cram it into a single stream. Absolutely, yeah. I don't know what that sound was, by the way, but that was, yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah, definitely. Listen, there's gonna be airports that people say. I'm sure I'll most likely get the odd comment after this with people rewatching saying, why wasn't this mentioned or why wasn't this shown? It's not me being personal. It's just I've live streamed for 15 more minutes more than usual at this point because of the nature of the live stream. I'm just, I'm trying to cram everything in. And the first couple of airports, I hadn't had a look around at all. They were my first look. So spent some time with the Humberside and the Bournemouth scenery. But this was one of the highlights from the stream. Is this custom modeled radar is just, the animation is spot on. The texture work and the modeling is just bonkers. It's incredible. And what else is incredible? Just before we go and show Bilbao off, because obviously Trevor was asking what the fall 2024 airports look like. Have a look at the apron lights. Have you ever seen apron lights this detailed? Like individual rivets and screws and the plating, the metal plating on there. They've perfected this, and I'm excited to see where flight simulations go next. It's so good, so well done. But Carl, yeah, I do need to take a look at those Orbx ones. I really do, mate. It's on my radar. No pun. Well, slightly, yeah, pun intended. But yeah, obviously, if Trevor, you're still away for a second, mate, obviously you can rewind the stream. But I will show you Bilbao because this was one of the default ones, like the 2024 ones that were listed as like the new airports featured in the simulator. And Bilbao's pretty. It's well done. It's fantastic. Yes, so Alfonso Pena is only marketplace for now. Unfortunately, the guys, as I say, they are known developers. They've been doing sceneries for a good while. But in terms of FlyT as a company, so FLYT simulations or just FlyT, they're a brand new development kind of company, and they've only got their sceneries on the instant marketplace. Leonardo has said he is in the process of getting them on third parties, Contrail and Sim Marketplace, for example. But for now, again, this is another reason why I did the actual dedicated live stream for it. So if you want to see that in more detail, mate, one of the last live streams I did was having a look at the two of them. It was Jericho Acoria, which is the other one, and Alfonso as well. And I go round in full detail in the streams, because obviously there's a full interior for both of them, and you'll see the textures aren't loading in again. Might have a little look and take me Ethernet cable out. I have a freeware Bilbao, so this should be interesting. Well, let's say this is just a default Bilbao that's in 2024, and it's bloody good. It's fantastic. The terminal is fantastic. But yet it is only a marketplace, mate, for now. They have intentions to get it onto third-party marketplaces, and again, that's why they're aware that their sceneries might not be well known at this point, because when developers get their sceneries onto third-party storefronts, obviously with that comes a lot of free exposure and social media reels, trailers, etc. All this business, they get a lot of free exposure when their scenery is on those marketplaces. The ground sections are finally loaded in, and the photogrammetry around the airport, it's all right. It's not the best we've got. It's certainly okay at this distance. But mate, Bilbao's fantastic. In 2024, the default Bilbao is just incredible. This was featured 2 or 3 times on the very first video I did for 2024. So my sort of returning video, new destinations it's called. I've got a Iberia A320 on the ramp, but yeah, it's having a bit of trouble with the ground sections at the minute, guys. I do apologise. It's not something I've ever seen, ever. This is not something I've ever had an issue with. And I'm not saying it's Sim Update 3, because it could be. Before Sim Update 3, I didn't have any problems with textures loading in. Textures would load in as soon as I'm looking on the world map. So I'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, Bilbao's tower all fully done. Looks like a World Cup or like a nice big pint glass or something. I don't think we've got any interior. No, we don't. Bit weird, because they've spent a hell of a lot of time with the actual terminal, which the night lighting is also blooming fantastic in this as well. It really is. But yeah, I can't wait to get some things set up in the room and get it looking more aviation, more aviation related. Certainly does get warm in here though. It's a lot smaller space than I had before, but it just feels a lot nicer. This is terrible. I've never seen sceneries load in. They've just loaded in straight away. But yeah, this is the terminal's all done. Even some of the office bits and bobs, and it's all there, mate. Oh, hang on. Oh. It's not letting me lower the camera. Yeah, now it is. We had this problem before with Bournemouth. It's not letting me go inside. So this is the default one, but it's handcrafted. It's what's included with the simulator. So technically, it's what you get as a default airport. It's not like a payware or anything. It's there when you buy the sim, but it's not letting me actually in. This is happening in Bournemouth as well. This is very odd, guys. I do apologize. I've never it's stuck now. This is definitely a sim update thing. I can't even get into drone camera now. Let me know in the comments or the live chat for the last few minutes, guys, if you've had any issues with the drone camera in Sim Update 3, because I've never... Look at that. The terminal's not even loaded. Oh, no, it's over there. I didn't realize it was this big. Wow. It's a lovely scenery. Oh, it definitely is better than the freeware one, mate. But as I say, it's it's one of the handcrafted ones that is included with as a default airport in the simulator, so you don't need to obviously buy it or anything. Yeah, whenever you get bounced from interior, it's because it's been collision detected. Yeah, but this isn't something I've ever had an issue with, guys. I've always been able to get into the interiors. Obviously, the last couple of interiors we looked at, some of the Pyreegue ones and the Humberside one, it did this for Bournemouth, but this isn't a airport that you are kicked out of. It unless the collision has been added to the airport. It never used to have collision. You used to be able to go in. Oh, look at all the segways. Oh, no, they're not. They're trolleys. I thought they were segways then. It might have a little more faith in default scenery now. Is there an updated list of default scenery? Yeah, they should be, mate. I don't think we got a load of new handcrafted ones in 2024. I think they took most of the default ones that we had in 2020, brought them over as standard. You also got quite a few nice ones in the Brazil update. There's actually one. Let me see if I can go to the Brazil one. But guys, this was never the case. You used to be able to go into Bilbao Airport. You used to be able to go inside these interiors and jetways, I'm 100% sure. Yeah, I've been through here. I've been in that terminal in the simulator. You can go in the offices and everything. This has been added into Sim Update 3. Which is very, very interesting. Yeah, Nice is quite good as well. But guys, let me know because I'm curious if you rewatch the stream or if you're watching now. I'm going to pop over to... Oh, it's Builders Premium. Oh, interesting. Fair enough. But I really would like to know what's going on with the collision. That was granted, I haven't actually been. See, the bus textures just load as well. I haven't been back to Bilbao in a while on the sim, so it might not have been Sim Update 3, but very odd. Definitely you were able to get in here before. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Tell you what we can do, guys. What I'll do is I will show you what was the one that we saw before, what we done before. The Brazilian one. I can't remember what it was though. I'll have a little look on the internet. God, we've gone right over the usual time, but anyway. There's one in Brazil again that actually Leonardo from Flight Simulations said he actually was part of as Gaia Simulations before he started Flight Simulations. There's a actual airport in the Brazil update, and it's that one on screen, but I don't know. Does anyone know what it is? The Brazil airport. Going forward, I'm going to load into it before I buy anything now. yeah, it's a good idea. It retains those horrid default jetways though, sadly, which is actually better. I wonder if Lodge change has made terminal off limits. It'd be sad, Carl, if it has, because obviously the Bournemouth one by UK 2000 did the same thing. That you could probably actually go into there. What I would like to try before we move on, there's a Brazil airport, guys. Can you let me know what the Brazil airport is? It's the one with like the glass and the I'm just gonna unrealistically move this caravan over here. This one seems quite sort of performance heavy. You can also see the jetways, and I'm lagging so much now. So it's not a very good advert for this. I wonder if it's got collision on the stairs. Interesting. No, they've actually put a whole collision around the airport. Interesting. Okay. Santos, yes, that's it, Carl. Thank you so much, mate. Jesus God, you always get me out. But it actually affects the camera. I can't move the camera around my person. I can only move it left and right. I can't move it up and down. So they've put a weird collision in front of this, and most likely the Brazilian one. Let me go to the Santos, and then we will end the live stream there, guys, because we've just we went over a tiny bit. Not that it's an issue at all, but this was one that was part of the world update. This one apparently is quite a good one to fly from. I think it's this one. It might be another one, actually. UK Titans always have thermal collision detection. You can get inside if you're lucky. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But I tell you what, something's happening with. I think this is the flight sim servers at the minute, because my internet's absolutely fine. As I say, I have moved rooms, but I'm using a wired connection. Yeah, I mean, it's not the fastest I usually get, but it still should be adequate enough to load things in. Interesting. So yeah, you can see the ground sections just not loaded in here as well. But this was like a handcrafted one, part of the Brazil World Update, so not technically one that was included in the simulator, but still a free handcrafted one, you know, because obviously city updates, world updates, sim updates are all free. I moaned about being unable to download content locally, but I have to try doing it. So yes, would love to see if it would make a difference in this instance. Call to see if I've downloaded this particular airport, would the satellite imagery load as well? But yeah. Hey guys, as if anyone's still having problems with the basic AC controls, custom presence with that circle just spinning around for minutes. Yeah, so we're having that kind of issue now. It wouldn't even load Gatwick in before. You know, it's an iniBuilds scenery, but it just wouldn't load it in. So yeah, I think something's happening at the minute. I think there's some kind of server. Like, I can't go into drone mode at the minute. Like, I cannot get into drone mode. Or my actual drone, there we go. Working now. So this is the Brazil one. Don't know what's going on with all the planes there. This looks like it's the Just Flight traffic. We also getting the GPU warning there. That skyscraper is pretty good. Oh, I know what that is. That is the custom skyscraper that you can get with. It's called Houses 2024. So that's not actually a real skyscraper. The jet bridges here are pretty cool, but again, I'm getting slowdowns and I can go in here. Okay, interesting. I would say it's probably not as detailed as Bilbao, but you can go in. Interesting. There's actually another airport as well that was done by Leonardo from Flight Simulations. I can't remember the code for it. You can see though one of the global shipping traffic, the freeware add-on. I need to grab the extended routes for that as well, because I haven't downloaded that. But that's a nice little free add-on, that the global ships, because it's got all the proper ships on there and all branded up real. But anyway, guys, do you know what? I washed my hair before, especially for you guys, and it's all sweaty and stuff now. But anyway, thank you so much for everyone for coming in. That was quite an extensive list, a few more than we were going to, but listen, I've enjoyed it. It's been good to be in sort of me new space, and I'm going to continue to make it look proper and nice. And yeah, it's been good. Keep in mind, obviously, if you are rewatching the stream or if you've seen the end of the stream now, this was my own personal list. It's ones that I really enjoyed so far. There's still loads more to come. We've got a couple of Manchester airports by multiple developers. We've got loads. We've got some exciting aircraft, loads of exciting new airports, a lot of exciting new add-ons, payware and freeware. So stay subscribed to the channel. Go and get on my Discord. Everything's linked in the description, or my actual YouTube channel page. Dive onto any of my social medias, guys. I post every time I'm going live. Every time there's a new video, I post real world aviation photography. I post more and more reels and short form flight sim content stuff as well now. I try and be as active as possible. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and there's more to come. I will schedule a new live stream for you within the next couple of hours, which will be we're going to be taking a look at Oz scene or AU scene. I'm not too sure how they like to be called. Oz scene. We're looking at the Toowoomba Wellcamp Airport. That is the brand new one, due out at the start of September. I will be showing you a pre-release version next Sunday at around 1 p.m. Bit earlier, because I'm going to try and cater for a couple of time zones. So 1 p.m. seems to be good for Central Australia time. So yeah, it'll be good. I'm going to change around camera positions and do a bit more, redefining in here, so it's a bit better. But yeah, thanks for coming in, guys. My name's Brian. Obviously, you know me as Practically Geek. I will be back very, very soon with more content. I will let you guys go. Thank you for joining me today. See you later.